There are 7 propositions presented to the California voters in this primary election. Proposition 91, Transportation Funds. Proposition 92, Community Colleges. Proposition 93, Limits on Legislators' Terms in Office. Proposition 94, 95, 96, and 97, Referendum on Amendment to Indian Gaming Compact. Proposition 91 seeks to restore the voters' mandate of Proposition 42 passed 2002 and Proposition 1A passed 2004. The original Proposition 42 authorized charging 5 cents per gallon of gasoline sold to be allocated for road and highway infrastructures. Unfortunately, our legislators whom we have voted into office override the people's mandate to allocate the money collected for each gallon of gas to their social programs. For every gallon of gasoline, you are taxed 50 cents per gallon. Out of the 50 cents, 5 cents is supposed to be used for our roads. The consequence of this proposition being passed will cause greater budget fights at Sacramento, and the money that was being diverted to other programs will suffer cutbacks. Proposition 92 is adjusting the minimum education funding for community colleges and reduces the students' education fees from $20 to $15 per unit. Unlike kindergarten and grades from 1 to 12, the community colleges do not get guarantee funding up to 40% of the general fund passed by Proposition 98 in 1998. Currently, the community colleges' required funding level has no relationship with the actual number of student enrollment. Due to continual budget crisis every year, and things have not improved with several propositions passed by the voters over the years, and it has not changed the climate of doing business at Sacramento, it is probably not a good time to pass this proposition. Problems have been compounded because of Proposition 98 has locked out 40% of the general fund that is allocated to education, which has forced lobbyist fighting over the remaining money in the budget. There are many other programs has various locks on the remaining 60% of the budget, which gives our lawmakers very little room to adjust budget allocation to various programs. The title of the Proposition 93 should be Increasing Limits of Legislators' Terms in Office. This is simply a misleading proposition encouraging the voters to change previous Proposition 140 passed in 1990 to limit politicians' time served at Sacramento. Under Proposition 140, an assembly member can only serve up 3 terms totaling 6 years and senator serve up to 2 terms totaling 8 years, giving a politician the potential of 14 years as a California legislator. Under this proposition, 93 allows a member to serve any combinations of assembly and senator totaling 12 years. Technically, this is reducing total time as a legislator from 14 to 12 years, but actually it is an increase because most legislators do not go from assembly to senator or conversely. Hence, their time at Sacramento is increased with this proposition. The basic argument for the proposition is to allow our legislators more time to develop skills of the office and able to withstand pressures from special interest lobbyists. The reality is it probably will not make a difference whether this passes or not, because just look at today's newspapers' headlines with budget problems and impasse. Nothing has changed when previous Proposition 140 was passed in attempt to kick out professional legislators who rather are in for the power and self-interest from public good. Proposition 94 to 97 is requesting the voters to allow several Indian tribes in Riverside and San Diego counties to expand their casino operations. The casino operators promise in return pay higher taxes that would help pay for our schools, police, and other important government services. Folks, This is just another scam to increase gambling in the state. There is no guarantee that more tax revenue will get generated for our schools, police, firemen, and etc. There are loopholes to minimize paying the extra money generated by the gambling at these casinos. Remember when we passed Proposition 20 in 2000 to legalize lottery in California and how it was supposed to create new additional revenue for our public schools? Well, the amount of money generated by the lottery for our schools was at best negligible. Second, increased gambling simply creates more social side effects that are not beneficial to the public with very little public good. Here is our recommendation of the propositions. Vote yes on Proposition 91 on Transportation Fund. Vote no on Proposition 92 on Community Colleges. Vote no on Proposition 93 on limits on legislators' terms in office. Vote no on Proposition 94, 95, 96, and 97 on referendum on amendment to Indian Gaming Compact.